welcome to another episode of Chasing Mysteries Gardens. I'm Rebecca, and along with my wife Karen, we are on a mission to renovate and rejuvenate our little piece of earth. We are in the basement storage area, so this is where we keep a clothes rack, holiday decorations, we've got all our catering supplies, cake supplies, our food storage, and today I just want to take you on a little tour of our small and meager collection of jars that I was able to can this year. And we are not a huge farm. We're not even a farm. We're more of a garden. And this year was a lot of experimenting as far as what would work, how it would grow, what would grow. I learned how to pressure can for the first time. I'm excited to try some other recipes maybe next year that I didn't get to this year, but there's always the winter. There's no reason why you cannot can in the winter. So I just want to show you some of the things that I did and the projects that I'm actually still working on, and show you a little bit how I store things here in Chasing Mysteries Gardens. So let's start the adventure on our pantry. So it's a little awkward to hold the camera and show you this at the same time, so forgive me if the camera is wobbly. So this is a jar of pickle relish, dill pickle relish. I've got an entire row of canned green beans, and these are by far my favorite way to store green beans. I love the taste, I love the texture. They taste exactly like a canned green bean from the store. So if you're familiar with that, that is what these taste like. We have a jar of salsa. And then back here is one jar of dilly beans that I'm actually going to use for Christmas. And then these are dilly ends. And then back here is more pickles that I'm going to open for Christmas. And then here is 3 rows of potatoes. So they're good. They kind of are reminiscent to a canned potato. This one was properly cooked. This one was overcooked, so you can see how it's just kind of like a jelly in there as opposed to more of a liquid. It's just because I cooked these too long. They're edible, but I don't know how I'm going to use them. Probably in soups. Might even try to make mashed potatoes from them. I'm not quite sure yet. So here I have a whole row of blueberries. So this isn't particularly jam. It is a little bit thicker, but there's no added pectin. It was just the fruit and some sugar. Then here is 2 rows. I made 18. And I think there's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 here. So I made 14, sorry. Made 14 of these spiced grape jelly. And these are from grapes that our neighbors grow next to their driveway. So they graciously said that we could have some, because otherwise they were just going to go to waste. So this row right here is dried items. So I have parsley, this is spearmint, this is sweet basil, this is dehydrated jalapenos. Not quite sure how I'm going to use these yet. This is aster that I put in tea. This is smoked paprika. So one of our family favorite dishes is something called Paprikash, and it uses quite a bit of smoked paprika. So I like to buy it in bulk. We also go through a ton of garlic powder, so I buy that in bulk. And then I don't like to use anything other than Saigon or Vietnamese cinnamon, so I buy that in bulk. It just makes everything taste like magic. It is the quote-unquote secret ingredient to my jelly, along with some other spices. It is just so delicious. Here I have some half-pint jars of raspberry jam that I made. It's actually jelly. I did strain 99% of the seeds out. And then I have a bunch, there's more of these somewhere, of just these little ones. These are going to be Christmas gifts. I have 2 quarts left of the canned peaches. These are actually spiced peaches. They're delicious. And then back here, this is my first time actually putting strawberries into a jar. And I did 3 quarts of these, and they didn't turn out like I thought they would. I guess I didn't realize that there'd be so much liquid. Our intention was to have these for strawberry shortcake, but I think they're going to end up more like strawberry sauce, either on ice cream or angel food cake or something like that. And back there, I just have some store-bought, I don't even know, apple pecan, and then another red raspberry jam, just store-bought, and then some, actually I should probably get rid of those, some Concord grape from quite a few years ago. This part of the pantry looks like somewhat of a disaster, but believe it or not, I know where everything is. And if you ask me for something, I can put my hands on it in about 30 seconds. So let's see what's over here. So we got this little cabinet from a friend, and Karen painted it for me. And she painted the cutest little hearts on it to kind of bring it some life. So it's so cute. Down here we have my tools for canning. We've got my spices, dill seed, mustard seed, extra salt, Himalayan salt, pickling salt. I have, oh my, there's pectin in here. There's citric acid. So all of the little jars of spices and things like that, and my tools are there. And then on this side, there is a kitchen scale and my Ball home preserving book. And then I have lids and rings. These are brand new. I've got all my label stickers. These are all brand new lids. And then I have my fermentation weights back there. Down here, I have more jars of green beans. And then this apparently is where all my raspberry jelly is. This is sweet pickle relish that I made. Yep, that's all that's down here. Oh, and some extra jars. This shelf is currently housing my pressure canner, as well as my dehydrator, and then jars of food. So I canned sweet corn this year. We don't particularly like it. We're gonna probably use it in soups. It tastes way better when it is frozen. Then this is a peach salsa that all you have to do is add some cilantro, and it is so good. And then on this side we have what's left of my very popular, very delicious applesauce. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jars left, and then there's probably a half a jar in the fridge. Down here, and I apologize for the darkness, we have more pickle relish. Oh yay, more dilly beans. Was afraid that was my last jar. These are bread and butter pickles. And then I have pickle spears, and these all taste delicious. They just got a little soft. Sorry, that was a sump pump. These are delicious. They got a little soft. You have to really remember to use the crunch if you want to have a pickle that's crunchy. And then down here, I have my first attempt at canning chicken broth. So it's a little cloudy. Here, I'll show you. It's cloudy because I let the broth boil, so the fat emulsified inside of the broth. So it's still good. It's just cloudy. So I'll make more of that. I actually haven't tasted it yet, but I'm sure it's way better than store-bought. And then right here is my water bath canner, some extra boxes to store jars in. I've got extra jars here and back behind there, as well as on this shelf. This is jars. This is a basket full of my rings. And then I have my fermentation set right here. I have more jars here. So the reason why I have so many rings is until this year, I did not realize that you weren't supposed to store jars with the rings on. So all of my jars had rings, so I just kept buying more. So now I have a plethora of rings. Here on top, these aren't necessarily for canning. They're just random extra spices that, wow, there's a ton of parsley in here. Minced onions, salt and pepper, so just random. And then I did buy some spices in bulk because I was running out. Dill weed, we actually need a bunch of dill weed for a dip that we make at Christmas time. And then also parsley, we use a ton of parsley here. We have some grits because I love grits. And then a buttermilk biscuit mix. This is a creamy mushroom recipe. And then this right here, wait, what's this? Oh, cream of wheat. I like that in the wintertime. And this right here is actually, I'm going to, I didn't have time to do it as gifts this year. I just, like a lot of people, run out of time. And I was going to make like a couscous medley and jar it up. So I've got dried veggies, I've got chopped onions, and I've got more dill, and then the couscous. You mix that with a little bit of salt, and then you can jar it up and cook small batches at a time. So that is what we have here on the top. Not necessarily for canning things, but just something on the shelf I'd show you. And on this side, I have my vinegars and my distilled water. Anytime that water goes directly into a jar, I like to use distilled water. Our tap water has so much chlorine in it, you can smell it. So I like to use distilled water for pretty much all my canning. So that's it. That's the tour, short and sweet. We did a lot spring, summer, and fall of 2021. And while it doesn't look like a lot, to me it's a lot. I lost my fear of the pressure canner in order to do these potatoes. I learned that corn is not good canned, but green beans are excellent canned. And I am just proud of myself for all the things that I accomplished. Also, Karen accomplished a ton in the gardens outside. And again, this year it doesn't look like much. The front of the house is still a little bare, and there are some trees, and our fence needs redone, and some other things. But it is always a work in progress. We learn things every day, and we try new things, and we see what happens and what works and what doesn't. So I hope that you enjoyed this adventure of what we accomplished this year. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more. And as always, Sookie Sookie. Love the earth, love yourself, love each other. Till next time.